Hello, people. Well, things came to a head today, and I lost my temper, and I knew that was going to happen at some point. And I know how my temper is, and I know a lot of people talk and say this and say that, but I'm not one of those people. Um, so here's what happened. I'm sure that some of you have been following the story, and I don't need to do the background. So I called the landlord and I asked him, look, if I lock this girl out upstairs that's squatting and bringing around a bunch of scumbags, uh, does she have the legal right to get back in her apartment by calling you, and will you give her the key to the front door? And he said, no, I'm not giving her any key. So I'm like, okay. So I get off the phone with him, and then the person that calls herself Jessica, she goes, and I'm waiting for her in the hallway to talk to her, but she doesn't come in. I'm like, well, look out the window, and she's sitting on the porch. So I go out on the porch and I say, is your name Jessica? She's like, yeah. And I said, listen, you're going to have to stop making so much noise at night, or I'm just going to I'm going to start locking you out of here. I know you don't have any key to the front door. And she goes, if you lock me out of here, I'm just going to break in here with a screwdriver. This is my residence. This is my house. And I'm like, you break in here with a screwdriver, and I'm going to call the police on you. And she said, go ahead and call the police on me. I don't have any warrants, and I have a right to live here. And I said, well, let's see what happens then right now. Why don't you break in right now with a screwdriver? So I lock her out. She gets on the phone, and she calls upstairs, and I hear somebody coming down from upstairs, and I got the door open, and I see it's a 20 something, about 5'10", maybe, I don't know, 170 pounds, something like that. So I go get the machete, and I go out there, and by the time I get the machete and go back out there, he's letting her in, and she's already in. And I'm like, listen, you people are being evicted, and you don't need to be here. And I said some things, like, I go out of my head when I lose my temper, so I don't remember all what I said. But this is the part that I remember, and this only happened an hour and 45 minutes ago. But I had the machete. They weren't taking me seriously, so I just took it and swang it against these mailboxes in the hallway, and as hard as I could. And I said, listen, you don't know who you're fucking with. And some other things were said, which I don't remember because, like I said, I go insane. And the kid, he goes upstairs. But the woman is a little crazier or braver than he is. She takes a step toward me while I got the machete. And she said, listen, I'm not afraid of you, old man. And I don't remember what was said over that. I just remember that. I was like, this woman's nuts, man. I wouldn't be walking up on nobody in the state that I was in with a machete. I'd keep my distance. So she maybe got 4 to 5 feet away from me, chopping distance. And the dude's upstairs, and he starts making threats on my life. So he's like, you don't got long for this world. He either said I or we know where you live. But you don't got long for this world, which I don't anyway. Let's be honest. But they're like, you don't got long for this world. We know where you live, old man, and we got guns. And then she goes upstairs, and I said, I'm calling the police right now. And they're like, of course, go ahead and call the police. So I go back in and throw the machete down and shut my door. And the first thing I do is I call my buddy that lives down the street, and I said, man, I need you to get here right now. I need your help. And he heard my voice the way it was, and he's like, I'll be there. So unfortunately, he brings a whole bunch of people. I just wanted him to come down because the police were going to get there. But he brings my 75-year-old aunt, and he brings a couple of other people, one of which has a real out-of-control temper, worse than mine. And she goes upstairs, and she calls this bitch out, and to a fight, like out in the street. And she wasn't going out. She's like, no, I'm not going out, even though the person that's doing the threatening is like much smaller than her. She's like, no, that's not happening. She's not going nowhere. And it might have been because, according to the person that went up there and called the person out, they were like rifling around, as she put it, hiding stuff. And anyways, so, I see red like that. I only remember bits and pieces of what's going on. And anyways, the cops get there right after my family gets there, or I call them my family, but my extended family and a couple other people. And my poor 75-year-old aunt falls out in the grass, and I hope her knee ain't hurt, but she got like a grass stain. That's when the cops were there, and the cops were like, what's all that screaming about? Because her daughter was like, get out here, to somebody else that was in a place to help, help her, and she was scared. It scared her, because person that old falling and stuff, she should never even been there. But I guess she just wanted to show support or whatever. And, I just wanted my cousin there, who's about 220 pounds and about my height. And just to have somebody there just in case anything happened. And, he's not going to stop a bullet. But I just basically wanted somebody to calm me down so I don't act any more crazy. So anyways, the cops get there. The cops are talking to me. And I said, listen, this is just leftovers from the meth situation. I said, I know you guys already know about that they closed down a meth cookhouse across the street over there. And he goes, yeah, we're well aware of that situation. And I said, these people are squatters, and they're just leftovers from that situation. And so, yeah, I'm still spun up in the head. It'll take me a while to get back to where I'm normal. So, the cop says, I told the cop, like I said, you can look it on file, man. I called you guys on July 4th, 2 days before your police raid, complaining about a drug deal. And he's like, what'd you see? And I described it to him. And I said, and I saw other deals going on out there. I said, in my opinion, they were cooking it across the street and selling it and using it out of this building. I didn't go into all the detail that I went in with y'all about it. And the cop says, well, you messed up in two different ways. He's like, when they were keeping you up at night, you should have been calling us. But really, they were just acting like 3 o'clock in the morning was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They weren't like playing music really loud. They were just living, but they were living all night. Whether they were tweaking or not, I don't know. But, they were like talking fairly loud in the hallway but it wasn't like out of your way, crazy ass fights and loud music and parties, and it wasn't nothing like that, so I didn't even think about really calling the police, because I told the cop an hour and 45 minutes ago, I was like, look, the way I figured it, you guys got bigger fish to fry. Then I don't like to call you guys unless it's absolutely necessary. And, anyways, the upshot of the whole thing is the cops did nothing. I called my best friend, which was a cop, and he's like, them cops did a horrible job. He's like, they didn't do nothing. They just kind of left and told you guys to sort it out yourselves. And they lied to him, and they said I threatened to chop their son's head off. She said I threatened to chop their son's head off. She said that I was walking up the steps threatening them. And I'm like, I can't even walk. I said, I can barely walk. I got a bad leg. I said, that's the whole reason I brought the machete, is because I can barely walk. I can't be confronting no 25-year-old healthy dude. A 10-year-old girl could push me over. And I said I wasn't going to go out there without a weapon. And the cops just basically say what they always said, which is, you should have called us and let us handle it. But, she said some other interesting things. The person who calls herself Jessica, she said, well, we were going to move out tomorrow, but now I'm going to wait out the whole 6 weeks just to spite you. And I'm like, yeah, I believe that. There's no signs of anybody moving out of that place ever. There was no signs. They were planning to squat the whole time. So now it's all coming to a head, and, I will call the police. And I told the guy that lives next to me, and it's a 4-unit building with 2 units on the first floor and 2 upstairs. The guy that lives next to me is in a wheelchair. He's in the wheelchair out there when I got the machete, and I'm slamming it against the wall saying, you don't know who you're fucking with. So, he stayed out there, and he was like, just go back in your house, dude. He was like trying to calm me down, and he's being a friend. He was like, yeah, just, you know, just go inside and shut the door. And so, anyways, he said that he hasn't been bothered, but he said, I got meds that knock me out. So, but I haven't been sleeping until sunrise. Like every night, my nerves have been fried. And now I had to take a Xanax just because of being that worked up, where I'm seeing blood and not even remembering what was said and stuff like that, just because I get crazy like that. And but it had to happen. It was going to happen. There's no way I didn't think I could make it through a week, and I didn't, let alone 6 weeks. I mean, something was going to, these people were just like, they there's a garbage bag in the hallway right now, and they were just like, bringing all kind of different people here and leaving the door open again, because I saw some young dude go up there, and then she's the one that's supposed to have the key. She comes back about 45 minutes later after this guy goes up, so she just leaving the door open. So I might have a target on my back now. I don't know. You really can't judge these things. So every time I go outside now, I got to carry my stupid machete with me for a while. I still could get jumped or shot, you know, but I don't care. This is the way I had to handle it, because I had all that repressed rage, and I don't feel better right now, of course, but I'll feel better about it tomorrow. And I'm sorry, but I'm old school, I'm macho, and I got balls, so I have to stand up for myself no matter what physical condition I'm in. And I was just standing up for myself because some people been injuring me by living here and behaving like that, and that whole meth trade thing and everything, man. It's been terrible for me. So yeah, that happened. So I thought I'd update you on it, and this just title this "Machetes and Police." But yeah, just because I can barely walk don't mean I can't take up for myself. Whatever happens, happens. When I get like that, it's me or you. If I don't want to hurt nobody. I wasn't gonna swing that machete on nobody. But if somebody come at me, got my personal space, I'd be in jail right now. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not lying to y'all when I say I got an insane temper, and that's what was scaring me the whole time. And it was just making it worse by me avoiding them and not confronting them. And then I tried to be a decent person and warn her that I was going to start locking her out, and that just made it worse, of course. Because now they could have put it off on the landlord that somebody was locking them out, or put it off on the guy in the wheelchair, but now they know it's me, so they got a specific target if they're those kind of people. If they actually want to make plans or whatever, to get revenge on me for scaring the piss out of them and whatnot. The guy going upstairs, like, saying we got guns. It never occurred to me that could get shot, but yeah, I guess that could have happened. I could have got shot because I'm sitting there holding the machete and his mom's yelling in my face and stuff. But it is what it is, man. I've been living through 5 years of bad tenants and 2 months of this meth scene bullshit. Now, if anybody knows that if they come in my place or they break in here, they might throw a brick through the window, but I bet you at my bottom dollar ain't nobody breaking in here when I got the lights on, because they know what I'm like now. And unfortunately, that's the only thing that some people don't understand. They don't understand reason. They don't understand manners or how to behave like a proper human being. They understand violence. That's why the police carry guns and sticks and mace. And so I don't feel bad about what happened today. And I got to have a target on my back. I got to have a target on my back. I can't let them continue to ruin my health and mess with my taper and everything else by living here and making me crazy. It is what it is. But yeah, that's the story. Now I'm just have to calm down, and it's gonna, I feel sick today because I'm not allowed, because of the CRPS, I'm not allowed to express that kind of rage and temper without consequences. But frankly, I've been waking up every day with a bad stomach just from repressing all that anger and living like this. So I might even feel better after this. Or that might have been benzo belly that I keep waking up with. But I wake up every morning feeling like hell with my stomach hurting. And, well, a lot of you guys know what that's like, where you wake up and you're like, oh my God, another goddamn day of this misery with the benzo nightmare thing. But yeah, I can hear them walking around up there now. You know, they're up there right now, the people that I just threatened with a machete, which I didn't really threaten them. I never said I'm going to cut you, I'm going to hurt you, or nothing like that. I just slammed the machete. They act like I wasn't even holding the machete. So I just slammed the machete like this against a bunch of iron metal mailboxes that are in the hallway, the kind that are recessed in the wall, really fucking hard. So they knew, so I got their attention and said, I don't know, I said, you don't know who you're fucking with. And when I get like that, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not there to hurt nobody, but if you come at me, you will get hurt. And it's a deadly weapon. I mean, why that woman would be crazy enough, whether she was under the influence or maybe just a crazy person, or maybe she felt maternal and that was her son and she felt like she was protecting her son in her twisted mind or whatever. She walked up on me with a machete. I don't know if I'm that crazy that I would ever walk up on somebody looking like me when I'm angry and being as big as I am. I don't think I would walk up on me. I think I'd have to be pretty far gone temper-wise to do that. But yeah, I played it like a man. I mean, I went and talked to her. I tried to talk to her. They're keeping me up all night walking around disrespecting the place I live in. It's just a big house with four apartments in it. 2 on the first floor and 2 upstairs. I can hear them walking around right now. I got a deadbolt on my door. I'm barricaded in my house, but what the fuck else is new? I've been living like this for a while, trying to avoid what happened today. So now it's over with. I mean, unless they want to kill me or beat me up or whatever, which will probably kill me since I'm in bad physical position and condition. If I do get beat up, it will probably be pretty severely. So, but it is what it is. After a while, I'm sorry for being a macho old-time dude, but after a while, man, you start feeling like a pussy in a doormat, and you got to remind yourself that you got balls. I mean, it is what it is, But I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go out there and confront, wobbling around on my toothpick legs, confronting 25-year-olds, 25-year-old males, and having 2 against 1, because some women can fight like men, man, and you don't know what the women are carrying, you don't know what the dudes are carrying. So I wasn't walking out there barehanded, because I ain't no damned idiot. So anyways, there's your update, and wish me luck, because I might need it.